I don't know. I had to laugh. Alright, we're doing it. So, I want to start by at least just discussing like what we want to do with the podcast, because obviously this is going to be as low effort as possible. I don't even want to talk to people, but I feel like we have to a little bit at the beginning. You know what I mean? Just to be like memes are going to come up and shit that we talk about all the time. Like, I don't want to have an aside and have to tell people who Banana Peel Matt is. Like, they're just going to get it after a while, you know?
Well, I mean,
like, certain things we'll have to just, like, if it's like a specific thing, we'll have to be like, all right, like, this is what that means. But, like, someone in our lives, I feel like they'll just, like, they'll come up every so often, and then they'll just get to learn who they are, type thing.
Ever listening to this?
This is why the informalness is so much better.
Purely for our friends who already understand.
No, forget it. Forget everyone that's ever going to listen to this then. This is just us talking on a Friday night. Which is why I recorded the last time like that, because it was so much better. Without, like, no intended audience, it's just, like, so much better than, like, hey guys, what's up?
I have absolutely nothing to say. I've never had an idea in my life.
I should have just secretly recorded, like, 50 episodes and, like, never told you.
That would have been great. And we could be done with it.
No, this is just us talking on a Friday night. Like, we're not even recording.
I mean, you could have at least had some general topics to cover.
No, but I don't know. Because then it wouldn't be natural. I don't like that whole thing of it's like forced.
No, you'd have like a fucking an 8th grader outline of what you're.
That's the point, though. That's the point. Is that it's just us casually talking about stuff.
Yeah, you
like the last time. Did you even listen to the episode? Remember what we talked about?
No, I've never listened to it. I would never.
Yeah, but we talked for like an hour and a half, and it was just like stuff about stuff. I don't know. I feel like if it's just like, I mean, if you like the day we're gonna like record one, if you're like, oh, I'll say that for the podcast because I want to say it to him, just when we have our weekly like recap, you know, then you say it in the podcast.
My mind is blank.
Just doing it on purpose. But I'm saying we don't have to do like, it doesn't have to be anything specific. Pacific. I know you wanted to fucking do
there's a
coal miner documentary.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, but that's just like
there's a lot of informative documentary things.
Which would be cool, but we both aren't doing
to find the cheapest motel I could possibly find there and like rent it out for 2 weeks.
I mean, that sounds like fun.
And then go get everyone's stories on tape.
But like right now, we don't have the resources to do something like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which is why we just
the PTO.
We just do this.
I mean, this is fine. I'm like never been more tired.
You're like trying to go to sleep. Sit up.
As soon as you started recording, I was like, wow.
It's unbelievable. Sip your beer. Sit up.
Sip it like this.
Gotta at least make an attempt, even if we like don't even want to at this point. I feel like forcing an attempt is still better than just not doing it, you know. Which is pretty much.
I mean, anything to get.
Which is pretty much what the guys have been telling us.
Offer back, like, if we put out something.
Because it's the whole thing of like if you just repetitively do something, you know, on a schedule over and over again, then you'll just easierly do it every time. It's like working out, which is why I don't even want to start, because then I know I'll. Well, it was when you were working out. Was it like that? Was it like, oh, I have to go to the gym, or did you just like do it every time because you were doing it?
I did it because I was like.
Well, not like the initial reason.
Forced by society to keep doing it because people expected it.
So you wanted to quit every day?
No, I mean it was just something to do. Like it was a goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Something I could see results,
it's true.
and it was like this was my life. Dedicating that time to it. Now that I can't dedicate the proper time, I don't do it at all.
Right. But I agree with having the goal in mind.
Yeah.
If we want to ever do anything besides,
I mean, the whole thing, if
chill,
people don't know, it started out, like, literally as just, like, a joke. Like, I was like...
Oh, yeah, it was.
Yeah, so, basically, Halloween freshman year, I went as the naked cowboy. It was
Classic.
a last-minute costume. I wasn't
Classic.
going to go out, but my roommates dragged me out, and I was like, oh, I'm so tired.
I mean,
Now you have to drink.
college
It's
Halloween. You have to.
Yeah. So I was like, what costume could I do? I had my cowboy hat, my American flag Guitar Hero 3 guitar, and
Fucking diaper.
my Speedo because I was on the swim team at the time.
Wow, I forgot about
What a
that.
joke.
Wow.
Oh,
I like, after you had like gotten off, I like heard that you were on the swim team, and then
yeah.
once you quit, I like totally forgot about the swim team entirely.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even remember I was on it till like a
Oh
few
wait,
months ago.
yeah, I mean, I guess swim house was a thing, but like I never pictured.
Brian Hyman.
Oh my god, I never pictured anyone that lived at swim house to be like swimmers or like I never thought of them
I
being
mean, the
like,
whole team.
well, no, you go to baseball house and you're like, oh, they play
Yeah.
baseball. You go to soccer house, oh, they play soccer. I went to swim house and I'm like, oh, these are just people's houses. Like,
I mean, what
they're just
what
college
you do
students,
is
like-
swim.
yeah, I like because I only ever saw the pool at school one time.
Really?
Yeah,
Did you
I
ever go in it?
No,
Really?
when would I have gone in it?
I even went in it casually before. I
Because
was
when they
in
had that
school.
ping pong table for like a week, it was
Right
like
in
over by the pool.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah, so I played ping pong there once, and I was like, oh, there's a pool there. And then I just never saw it again.
I almost threw up. So anyway, so I went out and then I saw photos of myself the next day, and I was like, "Oh, I got the freshman 15 there." So I was like, "All right, I'll just go on the treadmill." And then the way our gym was set up was there was like the cardio equipment, and then in a separate room were the weights, and there was like glass. And I looked over and I was like, wouldn't it be funny if I like got muscular? And then I just like went over the next day, and that's how it happened. It was just,
I don't even understand. Like,
it was a social experiment. We were all fooled.
I get like thinking about it as a joke, but then like
Yeah.
doing it for I don't even know how
I was
long
like,
you did it.
I let's see, that
You
was
fucking got ripped.
like second semester freshman year is when, or no, yeah, like December of freshman year to December of,
So I didn't even really know you that much back then.
yeah, last year. So I think I did it like 9 years total.
It's a long time.
Yeah,
That's
it's
way
almost
more
a
than I thought it
decade.
was.
Nah, dude, we're old.
Jesus. Well, no. Well, freshman year was
2008,
yeah.
December 2008 to December 2017.
Oh
That's
yeah, I guess
where
so.
My gym membership ended, and haven't been back since.
Jesus, I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it literally started off as a joke. I don't know.
It's a very funny joke.
Well, it's like that, and then like a
But that, I mean,
combination.
that's what I feel like this is though. This is borderline a joke.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, but if we keep
Everything's a
doing
joke.
it, then whatever.
It's like that combined with like my latent like Dragon Ball Z fantasies of being a super muscular man.
It's actually not a bad reason.
That's probably why like half bodybuilders even get started with PVZ. To be honest, like they're mostly like nerds. Like you have to have some sort of
Do you think?
well, not that all nerds are obsessive, but like you have to be like borderline obsessed with it to like keep doing it.
I guess that makes sense.
It's like that kind of personality, I guess. Or well, you know me, I get fixated on something, and it's like
100%
0
or
100.
zero. Yeah.
And that was like 100% thing.
True. That makes sense.
Yeah, but now I don't anymore. And now I don't have the time.
I don't know how people I work with are just like, oh yeah, I'm done working. Time to go home, and then I'll go to the gym for 2 hours.
There's no way. There's
I'm
absolutely no way.
How do you go to the gym for 2
hours?
I
see people on Instagram making their own guacamole,
and then they cook and then
I'm how the fuck do you even have the mental energy?
And then they're watching Netflix shows that has to take up literally every hour of their day.
I can barely.
And then they just sleep for 4 hours, and then they're miserable. I don't understand.
We're all on a path to destruction.
I just don't understand it.
I would be there. I physically could not my dad was like, oh well, why don't you just go before work? And I'm like, and wake up at 4 a.m.
Oh
are you kidding me? I'd shoot myself.
That's even worse. Those people.
Yeah.
I guess if you're genetically predispositioned to wake up early,
like my dad.
Yeah. Then it's I got to do something with my day.
My father has lived on 4 hours of sleep a night for the past 20 years. So that's insane. Every time I'm just...
Has he ever wanted to sleep more?
Sometimes. I mean,
so I'm gonna take drugs to
no,
or Ambien or something.
That doesn't even work.
So it's not insomnia. It's just or is it insomnia?
I don't know, dude. He needs to see a doctor. I mean, he's 60, whatever.
He doesn't seem like it.
Well, I mean, because
that's the other thing. Doing taekwondo and going.
He's active.
He
does a 12-hour shift and then taekwondo, and still sleeps only 4 hours.
And does he work out? Because I feel like he's always been.
Yeah,
in shape.
he works out at home. He has.
Oh yeah, there's this stuff in your basement.
Stuff in the basement. I told him he should join a gym, but just for the social aspect.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he's more in shape now than he was probably 10 years ago, but he's never been most people. I'm always he's I'm Dad, you literally look better than 95% of guys your age.
It's literally people I know that are younger than him at work that are still older.
Yeah.
Are my body's falling apart, and they're just so out of shape and everything, and it's we still work in a physical environment, and they're just I don't know how much longer I have. What do you mean?
Well, that's the other thing.
And then your dad's just hey guys, and he's just 20 years older than all those people, and he's
that's the other thing too though, is what if it's burning out too soon, you know what I mean?
You mean they are, not him.
Too much. No, him too. You never know.
How? I'm saying he's
doing so many things and getting no sleep can't be healthy. I mean, granted, he's in good health.
I feel I remember reading something that was sleeping way more is calls for shorter lifespan or something like that.
I think it's correlated to shorter lifespan, but then you have to look at other things.
Yeah.
Why people sleep, they're depressed, which means they probably abuse substances, and you know what I mean?
And don't work out, so aren't physically healthy.
It's a chain reaction of things.
Yeah.
That's pretty much every...
If I were to get probably 20 pounds fatter, then I'd probably force myself to do something exercise-wise.
I mean, you could literally just walk.
Well, no, I walk miles at work, which is keeping me in okay shape. Because all I do is just fucking swill beer on the weekends. So
Swilling beer. I guess my whole point of this anecdote was to keep things in moderation, because that's what burned me out. I mean, partially, and this will get a little personal, it was, I had to being physically fit was a benefit with my mom taking care of her, because
that's true, yeah.
100 whatever pounds of dead weight is a whole world different carrying it than lifting that and a barbell.
I had to help your dad in the shower the one time.
Yeah.
And I was just okay, I get it now.
Yeah. It's the physicality helped, but then it was if I got injured, there would have been no one there, because we we had multiple people quit within like 2 weeks because
I don't understand how like
it was so like taxing.
I feel like I've never heard like that happening to anyone though. Like any home care just like quitting like that.
Yeah, but that's literally how like bad it was, or how demanding it was that they just couldn't take it.
Yeah.
So if I got injured, it would have been game over. So I cut down on like my compound list, in case I got injured, because I've tweaked my back 2 or 3 times where it was like took me a couple weeks.
Didn't your dad get hurt at one point?
Yeah. And so that the intensity lowered, and then it got less interesting for me, I guess.
True.
And then after, I was just
because you weren't 100% anymore.
Yeah, I was like 90, and I was just like, oh,
might as well be 0.
It's over, dude. And then I don't know. There's the whole social thing. Like people treat you differently, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, I don't know.
I mean, but you're still in like great shape, especially like 29, boy.
Ugh.
We're almost 30, and you're like,
ugh.
You still look like you could. Like if you told me, if I didn't know you, and you were like, yeah, I go to the gym every day, I'd be like, yeah, you do.
I mean, but yeah, so everything in moderation.
I saw that ramen too. You're eating ramen only.
Yeah. That's my depression is so bad that I'll be happy eating the same thing over and over. I mean, partially it is the effort. I mean,
that's 100% what it is for me.
Like I said, I'm like dead when I get home.
Like, it'd be cool to learn how to cook something, but I'm just like, I don't want to.
I don't want to deal with it, and that's why
learning and then like getting better.
Yeah, and I had chicken and rice for so long, and it was fine, but I can't even.
Yeah.
Like just eating like that, I don't know.
Like I don't eat healthy anymore at all, but I don't eat a lot either.
Yeah, it's
like I used to eat when I was home and Mom was cooking. She'd be like, "Here's your dinner," and it was just like the largest plate every time, and I'd be stuffed like halfway through and then just like finish eating it. Yeah, but it was like half the time she'd make healthy foods too, so.
It's just.
So I don't think I gained a lot of weight. I might have gained like. I feel like I fluctuate like 10 pounds probably, but I just eat less and I eat shit though.
That's the other thing too. Like, people think you're like super, like regimented and everything, and it's like I never weighed myself.
True.
When I worked out, I was just like, "This is what I look like." There you go.
Yeah, which is cool though. Usually, the obsessive people are obsessed about the scale and stuff.
Yeah. It's like a numerical value on their progress.
Yeah, this is worth it.
But you just go with what you look like.
Yeah. Right now, I feel like I don't have to go to the gym, so I'm not gonna.
Yeah, like sometimes, like now I'm just like, oh my god. But then, like, I don't fucking care anymore.
Well, I feel like you don't even fucking poop for like a week straight, and you're like.
Well, no, my bowels are an enigma. Like. I'm either having like diarrhea for 3 days straight or I'm constipated. There's no in between. And I went to the gastro and they're just like, I don't fucking know.
Really?
Like what it's honestly my anxiety. It's like I said, if it gets,
it has to be, yeah.
if it's like a slow burn anxiety, I get constipated. If I have like a giant ping of anxiety, I just flush out. Like that's exactly what it is.
That's true. And I can tell too. I'm like, oh, we have something to do this weekend, and you're just like on the toilet.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I wish things were different, but
it's crazy.
I'm just a poop human.
Doesn't your dad have terrible bowels too? And he doesn't.
Well,
does he have anxiety?
He eats like raisin bran and grapes and shit. So he's always
just strictly raisin bran and grapes.
Yeah, he's always ripping. He's always mud digging.
What a diet.
I mean, yeah, well, he eats healthy, so.
Yeah, I feel like, and then he's 100 or 0 with food.
Yeah.
I'm gonna eat all of this. That's terrible.
No.
Uh,
I just. I hate to use the word adulting, but like.
what do you mean? For what? Like.
Well, it's like, where do you go from here? We talked about this before. It's like, do you want to buy a house someday? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a whole dominoes have to fall for things to happen.
Dominoes.
We should have gotten dominoes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Like I said,
You know what I mean? Because I was talking this with my dad. I was like, whatever kind of like predetermined map that we were supposed to follow is dead now. Like compared to like that generation, you know.
There's a relevant.
Less and less people are like getting married, having kids. It's like, what do you do?
There's a very relevant quote from Endgame that I'm not gonna.
Can't spoil.
I'm not gonna talk about because it's been 2 weeks.
It's 2 weeks and I still haven't seen it. I still don't.
And you're right for a movie blog and you haven't seen Endgame.
Spoiled. I have to see it on the right screen.
I'm just saying. I would have used that quote right there. Hopefully the two listeners know which part I'm talking about.
Quote is, only the fast will last. Imagine.
Dude, can we please go to the midnight premiere of Sonic? Like, I actually want to do that.
I mean...
You know it's just going to be, like, meme lords, like, lined up. And, like, Sonic fans that are taking it way too seriously.
Alright, there's a conspiracy theory that they had the redesigned good Sonic already done, and they did the trailer for this one to build up hype because it worked.
No.
Yeah.
Sonic's devs are not smart enough to pull something like that off.
They could be, though.
Let's make this game bad, and then...
Like, that's the one thing that the brand is known about, is their social media is, like, self-aware all the time.
Yeah, but they always make bad games and then don't release good games after that. Like, it's not...
Hasn't been a good game since Sonic Colors.
There's no... That'd be next level, though. I mean...
Yeah, but look at it. It comes out in November. That's like 6 months.
Either if it comes out great, then I would.
No, it's not going to be good.
No. I mean like how he looks and stuff, and like the whole with the movie. Then I would kind of believe that conspiracy. But if it's even worse and like it's trash, then it was clear that it was like super rushed.
But that's the thing, is it got memes so hard that people are like, no, don't change it. Like.
Yeah, I don't want to change it.
I think they like foisted the public to grow an attachment to this design. It could be anything.
I want to see how bad it can be. Like, I hope they make it worse. Because you knew as soon as the Sonic movie was announced that it'd be scuffed.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's no way.
I mean, you go through the other forms of media, like the anime and. Like, anything is better than this. You know what I mean?
They're doing live action everything now, though. What's the other movie that's coming out that's... Lion King? No, Pikachu. Lion King is, like, why? There's no point. Like, it doesn't even look interesting.
But the fucking Jungle Book made, like, $1 billion.
Well, that's why, yeah. They're just catching in on nostalgia. Like,
I finally saw it, like, after.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah.
I thought you hated it.
I original hated it.
So why'd you watch that, not Endgame?
Because it was like on like something like TV. Like I didn't like seek it out, but I still watched it, and I was just like, this isn't good. Like, you know what I mean? I thought I was being like too pretentious or whatever.
True. Yeah.
And it wasn't good. There wasn't anything good about it. Like, just watch King Kong. Like,
yeah. I don't know. The new Lion King just doesn't look.
Well, that, and then you have Aladdin live action.
Oh, yeah.
With the Will Smith.
Will Smith genie. That's gonna be hyped only because it's Will Smith.
Nah, dude. He's like a fucking whatever. I don't know. Hollywood's cursed. Don't watch any movies.
It is very cursed right now.
Don't watch any movies. They're all bad. Except for those starring Nicolas Cage.
Except for Endgame, and then the new Godzilla. It's gonna be hype.
Hopefully, yeah.
And that's it.
Godzilla, and then Godzilla versus Kong next year.
True.
I mean, it's like, I don't know. I just like, this has to be the end of superhero movies.
Why?
Because Endgame's it. Like,
You mean end of good superhero movies?
No.
Because now that it's proof
Even
that Marvel
Marvel.
now that Marvel, like, everyone saw that Marvel cashed out so hard on like doing different movies and combining them together. Everyone else is gonna try it.
Well, yeah, no, I fully agree.
It's like battle royales. Everyone's fucking making them.
I like cinematic universes and things that are linked, because that was always like the pipe dream, like 10 years ago. Well, more than 10, because now Marvel's 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted it to be like, oh, like we'll have everything together, and they did it well. But this is the end of that saga. I mean, I don't even. Oh yeah.
The next ones would have to really catch your attention.
Here's my first hot take is that I didn't like Captain Marvel that much.
True.
However, I
good.
realized that it's partially for kids. So if you're a little girl and you're watching that and
yeah,
you feel empowered, but like the point of like a lot of the Marvel movies was there were still things for adults that you could pick up on, but it felt so ham-fisted and like, I don't know, I don't even remember half of it, even though I like watched it intently. Yeah. It just wasn't, I don't know, like, I mean, granted, I haven't seen Endgame, I haven't seen what she does in Endgame, but she just felt like, I don't know, that's part of the problem with Marvel is the escalating power of...
Yeah, that's true, power creep. I mean, I feel like Captain Marvel was made, like the movie, just because they like.
Like I love Brie Larson, but I just
yeah. And they needed a like, who was the most powerful superhero that was a woman before that? Black Widow, like.
Yeah.
So like they clearly needed somebody else that was a woman.
But it's like. Honestly, and this is not even just the characters, but like the movies, like Wonder Woman was a lot better than Captain Marvel.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, DC didn't get the memo, so. Actually, when does that come out? Wonder Woman 1984.
You're just ruining. I just want to talk about I want to talk about Endgame with you.
No.
But you haven't seen it, so I can't say anything.
I have to see it on the correct.
It's gonna be out of that theater.
No, it won't, dude. It's gonna be. Captain Marvel was in theaters for a month and a half. It's been 2 months.
And when do you plan on going?
When I can. Because you have reserved seats, and I have to get a good seat. And it's literally the AMC Lincoln Square is the best screen in the entire country. That's why it's been sold. All the good seats have been sold.
No, not worth it.
Yep.
No. Convenience over quality.
Nah, dude. Not for the. This is the last. This is probably the last Marvel movie I ever see.
The last movie you ever see, period.
I mean, I know. I mean, leading into Spider-Man 2 is a good idea because honestly. That character has the most potential out of all the heroes at this point.
True. Didn't X-Men change hands and now they can like incorporate them into Marvel Universe or something?
I mean, Disney bought 20th Century Fox.
Yeah, that's
who owns the X-Men IP.
Right.
It would have been hype if they nutted them into like an Endgame post-credit scene or something.
That would have been fucking dirty.
I don't know why they can never do anything.
I've always been a big X-Men fan, even if it's like...
Yeah.
Which reminds me, I haven't seen Season 2 of Legion, and Season 3 is coming out, and I thought Season 1 was pretty good.
I haven't seen any of it, dude.
Just because we don't have cable anymore, so... Not that I'd watch it anyway, but...
Millennials. Killing
Watching FX is like. Does FX have their own streaming?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
That makes more sense then.
Pretty
People
sure.
that watch that like primetime television on like the main channels though, it's just like,
Oh, God.
what are you even doing? It's 2019.
It's
None
literally-
of it's good.
It's the same, like, every
Literally zero.
every cop crime show is the same thing
Yeah,
over and
yeah.
over. Oh man, now there's a car bomb. Oh no, it's a serial killer. Like, it's all just
It's
copy.
never the first person we suspect.
When I had like honest, it's just copying whatever the show is, and then like CSI. Like, nothing's happened since then.
Yeah.
And that's not counting like boutique television like HBO, because I still haven't seen the third
Right,
season.
I'm just talking about cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's the same, and everyone's just fucking eating it with a baby spoon out of the baby jar.
Up next on Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
I mean, that's one of the better fucking shows.
Yeah,
out there.
I agree.
Guy Fieri.
Like if
nothing wrong.
I am in a hotel by myself, I'm putting on Food Network and hoping it's Guy Fieri.
Yeah, dude.
That, and I watched that PBA championship on ESPN2. It was just like bowling at 4 a.m. and it was so hyped too, because I watched the guy. What was his name? Jason something. And he broke the record for most like tournament wins career. And I was like watching it at like 3 a.m. I was just like, what? Why?
Nice, dude.
And he used like a 2-hand technique too. Like a lot of bowlers use this like 2-hand throw, and it's like more consistent apparently.
I guess, yeah. It's crazy.
But yeah, it was pretty sick.
Dude, let's
But yeah, so
be fucking bowlers, dude.
so I'm saying Guy Fieri and alternative sports on
Yeah.
ESPN2.
Nothing else is worth it.
The Ocho.
Just burn it. Burn it all down.
I wonder when, like, it's gonna have to stop eventually, right? Like,
What?
cable TV. It's like every channel just gonna branch off into its own streaming network, and then
Yeah. It already is. We're already in. We're in
Why
the
is
end game of streaming. Where you're gonna have a bunch of streaming services, and eventually it's gonna cost you fucking more than a cable subscription.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to get their dime before it all crashes again.
Stupid.
That's what I do. Like, I haven't pirated anything in a long time. Because I'm just like, sometimes like, oh yeah, I really want to watch that. Like, I don't have an HBO subscription anymore. I'm like, I want to watch the 3rd season of True Detective. And then I'm just like, it doesn't matter. I can not watch it. You know what I mean? Like, you feel compelled by society to like watch things.
That's true.
And I could not do it.
It's
and
such
then
a-
it means like you haven't watched it, like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
That's-
nope.
I feel like that's the main reason people watch half the shows they watch. It's just as like conversation pieces.
Yeah, I always hated that, dude.
Because what else are people going to talk about?
That's insulting to the
Oh, let's talk about
others.
sports instead.
That's even worse. Sports is just like, I don't know, people who don't know how to write television. Ugh. I don't know. Once again, it's like, where do we go from here? Like, there's no.
Should make the full transition to
No, well, the next transition to entertainment was like Twitch and stuff, and
Which it
that's
still
where we are
is.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that's getting capped out with like all the streams are sponsored and like, you know what I mean? I mean, obviously there's like streamers we watch who are smaller, and
Yeah.
but like, is that it? Is this the end?
It's clearly not. Like, there's. I mean, not clearly not. I mean, meaning like
I just hope
it's
it-
not clear what's
I
going to
hope
be next.
a fucking EMP just wipes everything out.
But every collapse is just going to be like
Waking
At the
up,
same time.
waking up and finding out you have to physically go somewhere to talk to someone.
That'd be awful.
It'd be amazing,
What do you
dude.
mean? Why would I want to? I barely.
Because then you don't have to
I
talk
could barely
to
pick
anyone.
up a phone. Oh, because then you don't have to.
Yeah.
Alright, that makes sense.
Because, like, everyone's on the same page.
I was gonna say I could barely when I was younger I couldn't even fucking call and order pizza because I hated.
I still hate talking on the phone.
I don't know what
It's like
that. I don't know what that was.
There's a
like,
phobia, dude.
It like I was like, did my parents do something specific like to us growing up that made us not like talking to people on the phone?
I mean,
Because it's something, and a lot of people have it too.
the 90s had a lot of, like, hysteria, like, driven, like, boogeyman shit.
Y2 gay.
That, and, like, everyone's gonna molest you, and
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
Hitchhiking's bad.
Yeah, like, they just, like, don't do anything. And then when we all grab onto screens, they're like, what are you doing?
Yeah. And then there's one story of how like some 12-year-old girl met up with a guy in a parking lot by talking to them on AIM.
Yeah.
And he just like kidnapped her. And it's like it happened to one person, so it's gonna happen to
That
everyone.
was my life until about, like, age 16. I was like, no. I don't know. But then again, we're sitting here talking about this. Like, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. To us. Stuff matters to some people. But nothing matters to us.
I just don't know how people ignore, like, glaring problems.
I feel like most of them just don't even know about glaring problems.
I think they do. Like, I don't want to sell people short and be like, wow, they just, like, are oblivious.
It's gotta be half and half, like.
It has to be, like, a personality thing where you can just block it out.
And then they just like age quicker and stuff, like just
Probably.
holding in the info just like kills them like 20 years early or something. Because it eats away. It has to.
It's gonna be weird to see the fallout of our connected lives that we have now.
True.
I don't know, dude.
Like imagine if you had been born like this year and then
Ooh.
and then you get to look at like a ton and like your parents were like super Instagram posters and it's
Yeah.
just like baby pics of you like naked in a shower or something like
That, and then,
you'd be able to see your whole childhood.
like that, and then, like, posting photos of your kid and having them dress, like, stylishly. It's like our childhoods, we all looked like fucking dorks.
Oh my god, I was.
No one had any concept of what was.
I was so bad.
I was terrible.
I was like almost intentionally awful at it. Like it was like
I'm a baby.
I remember one picture we had. Oh, it was like I don't know if it was. I remember sitting in an auditorium. I think it was after middle school or something, and it was like remember when, and like people submitted pictures, and it was just like a slideshow
Yeah.
that us and our parents were watching in the auditorium at the end of the year, and it was like there was one picture of me in like first or second grade, and I had a sleeveless nylon like bright yellow shirt, matching bright yellow shorts, and like yellow and black Tevas on, and I was just like with like a backpack that was all cinched up and everything. I was just like, oh my god, like it was.
Dude, that's streetwear. Man. You were ahead of the times.
It was so bad. Oh my god.
But yeah, but now everyone's like, their kids have like fucking fades and like stylish haircuts.
Yeah.
And, no, we look like shit. And you can say like, oh, well, that was the trend, was the bowl cut and whatever. It's like, nah, just no one cared.
It's true.
You literally only had the TV, and you couldn't even record it at the time. I mean, you could like on tape, but you only did that for special things. There was just no reference to style or like not till like later, like when we hit high school.
Unless you like lived around people in a city that were like
Yeah, I guess because we both grew up kind of in the country.
rural-ish. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, The smell of manure permeates me to this day. There's just no sense of that. So yeah, I don't like. So I was like, if I have kids, like, how do I raise another human?
Yeah. I feel like I would plan out like how to raise a kid.
Yeah, but
and then it wouldn't go according to plan at all. Like,
I think that's what everyone does probably. I don't know. Be poor. You gotta give us the deets on how you're like. Did you read like child rearing books?
I don't want to do any of that. I feel like we've both like learned enough knowledge or whatever. Like if either of us had a kid, we'd be able to like raise a child better than like half the people that are out there that are just winging it. You know what I mean? Like
because we're not drug addicts or anything.
Yeah. It's like, oops, I had a kid when I was 18. Looks like I'm gonna raise it. Like, there's no way you know enough to like. I mean, some people successfully raise children. I don't know. Who am I to say?
That's again like, is that the goal? It's not the goal anymore to like procreate. So what do you do?
Goal of what? Your goal or like the goal of the species?
The goal of the species.
The goal of the species is always to procreate.
Is it now?
It's to start the species and end it. Is like that's.
Well, we're ending it. We're ending it.
It's not a point. It's just like that's what happens.
We're ending it very quickly.
Which is why I'm like 50-50 on it too. Just like, oh, I could procreate and keep it going. Or
well, I mean, like I've always been like, oh yeah, I'd like a kid, but now I'm just like, I'm almost 30.
Yeah, that's not even anything. Like
yeah, it is. I'm getting up there.
I could get to like 35 and probably have a kid, and then after that I probably wouldn't.
The past like year, I've been feeling old.
Yeah.
It might be because the things we like are span multiple generations, like games, anime, stuff like that, and I'm around people who are younger and like it, and I'm just like, I feel like, like I'm a fucking blob human.
Yeah, that, like so many things are cashing out on the nostalgia. Like, oh, I remember when.
I'm an imposter blob.
Imposter blob?
Yeah. I don't know. But again, like, none of it matters. I'm perceiving my reality through my eyes. Like, the things I saw today don't exist anymore. They already happened, dude.
True. And your memory of them isn't 100% accurate.
Yeah. Like, I can give you the gist of where I was today, but, like...
Castaway.
That's true. Part of me still thinks that scene exists.
There's no
Just
way.
because I found that online post of someone else asking about
That's
it.
like a Mandela effect thing, like they removed the suicide scene from Castaway.
Well, it wasn't that he actually killed himself, it's that he tested it.
Well, yeah, obviously.
It's hinted at that he did, but it's not.
Yeah, it's implied. It's implied in the movie.
I was like,
the first time you said that, you're like, "Oh, they got rid of the scene," and I was like, "What do you mean?"
For the TV edit. Dude, they now the post credit scene, the end game is this new Spider-Man trailer they showed at the end.
Do they?
Yeah. It wasn't in the first screenings like the first week.
Huh.
It doesn't make any sense because you can just watch the trailer. I think they cut it a little differently, so it's not like a trailer. It's at the end because
I didn't want there to be anything at the end of it.
Yeah, there wasn't supposed to be, but now there it is.
Now that everyone was seeing it for their 5th time, they figured they'd throw something in at the end. I'm getting another beer.
I want to know.
I'm so thirsty. Huh?
Grab me a fermented beverage. Hey man, there's a beverage here.
He burned my shake.
I burned my cheek. Whoa, I'm quick.
What?
I said, whoa, I'm quick.
That has to be from maybe it's from the game. Like,
Maybe.
I don't know. Oh no.
This is a podcast break, everyone.
Something's vibrating in the fridge. That's annoying.
I can hear it.
What is Yeah, that was it.
I think you just like cleared out the shelf.
I also think long pauses are good for the podcast.
Well, I mean, this was normally where we would edit it out, but
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel like so many podcasts just don't even give you a chance to like absorb, you know?
honestly, I've noticed like between like last podcast, ghost. That's our ghost, everyone. Last podcast, like compared to like the early episodes now, they edit some things, like they would laugh more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can know like people are cracking up and they have to like edit it for like pacing.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they do have a quick pace though. Last podcast.
I mean quicker because they do like professional podcasts do have like an outline of what they talk about.
That's why I like just this better because it's just like, especially if we're talking about something and then it just like drifts off.
I think
people could still think about that topic.
I think we could do
You know what I mean?
a thing where we ask
It's
like
more natural.
we ask Ward Clan like to ask us things. That could be a segment, and we could kind of riff off of like. It doesn't have to be the whole podcast.
No, yeah. There's no way.
There's a fucking ghost nearby. Just clanking bottles together. It's spooky.
But yeah. I just think some podcasts are missing it.
Well, now podcasting is like a profession, so it's like
Yeah.
everything it like gets distilled and drained down, and then you have like very similar.
Which is why this is desirable to some people, because it's just like them being part of a conversation and that's it. Because nobody fucking has conversations anymore because everyone's just on their phones.
It would only be better if we were like in a cardboard box.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Somewhere.
Those boxes that we had when we moved in.
Oh. That was the studio, man. We threw it away.
I slept
the cardboard box studio.
I slept in it like a full night.
Yeah.
Or was it? It was like a 4-hour nap I took.
Yeah, I was like, should I wake him up in the box?
I was like, wow, how comfortable.
The box.
And this pillow. That was all it was. It wasn't even a blanket. Just a pillow in a box.
Remember when we had nothing?
It was so good.
I remember sleeping in my sleeping bag next to my bed because I didn't have a mattress yet. That was after warmest, I think. Warmest night.
True.
Just on the hard floor. Dude, I miss that.
It's nice not having anything.
I mean, we still don't have the shelf over there.
I mean, my parents gave me the Christmas money for it, so we just gotta go buy it. Fucking every weekend in history is busy. I don't know. It's just like spring is just like everyone's just like, let's do everything.
I like seeing my friends, but then I'm like, holy crap, because as we said, like, there's on the weekdays I'm already dead, and on the weekends I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, but people want to do things, and just like.
And then you have multiple friend groups, so they rotate. And like I have wiffle ball, which is like every couple of weekends. Which I enjoy doing because I enjoy the people, I enjoy playing it. It's something physical that I do that.
That's literally what you just said about your job.
Yeah.
It's physical. I like the people I work.
Yeah. Those are the only reasons that keep me going to work. Like, I make enough money to live okay. Like, I don't care what happens. I could get. I mean, my manager tried to get me to. He's like, "Oh, there's supervisor openings in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania."
Oh God.
And I'm like, "I'm not going down there." He's like, "What do you mean?" And I was just like, "What do you mean?" It's like I'm not moving like down, and it's like the facility down there is garbage too. So they like want me to go down and like turn it around, and I'm just like, no, like I plan on living in the Hudson Valley the rest of my life.
Pennsylvania, it's literally just covered in shit.
Yeah. So I'm like, no, I'm staying here. I'll wait as long as I want to until a supervisor drops out, and then I'll fill that spot. So whatever. I'm not in any rush to do anything.
Yeah, dude.
Are those shoes that you got?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that brand.
Neither have
Are they, what kind of shoes?
I just googled shoes and bought the first thing.
It's no way.
Pretty much. It's all the same shit. It's all in the same...
Shoes.com.
It's all made in the same child labor factories. So.
Probably, yeah.
I mean...
What are they, though? Like,
they're shoes.
but, like, where?
Just look at them.
Where are they?
They're like gray.
Oh, those ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are shoes.
They are shoes.
Pretty standard shoes.
Yep. And I was like, oh, like I got them. I'm like, oh, the quality seems okay. $30.
30?
Yeah, dude.
How?
Cause it's everything's literally the same. You're just paying more.
Yeah, I guess.
People are like, oh, like quality's different. I'm like, at a certain point.
I can't remember the last time I bought a pair of shoes that was like
there's a threshold.
under $60. Actually, no, the Hey Dudes I got were 40 a piece. I think.
Shoes are overpriced to begin with.
Yeah, they are.
In general.
Well, anything with a brand that's popular is overpriced. That's why shopping at Goodwill is the best.
I have to. That's the one thing I want to do is do my video thing. I need to like. Wonder if the
What video thing?
Scrumble flea market.
Oh, the flea
Like-
market?
Yeah, like buying videotapes.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
unmarked.
That actually is such a good idea.
That's such a good idea. But I need to actually go buy more.
That's why I like just finding like hidden music.
Yeah, it's like
Just,
the,
like,
it's in the same
satisfying. Yeah. I can just picture you collecting like having like a wall of just like thousands of like people's home VHS tapes from the 90s, and you're just like, you know everything about them.
I
Like
mean, that's pretty much
just
the
become
idea.
serial killer, like
I don't know about that.
Poughkeepsie tapes.
That was gonna be episode 1 of the podcast.
Was it? Was it
I
supposed to be?
One of the first ones.
Poughkeepsie tapes.
I mean,
Didn't he make a movie? I didn't even...
that was fun. You're spoiling it, dude.
This is it. What do you mean?
So, I mean, people who are from here know that we had a serial killer. He
But
lived
It got popular
right. Well, yeah, but people like
after the fact. I'm
like
saying some people might know what the Poughkeepsie tapes are because they heard of the.
yeah, because they heard of the movie.
Yeah.
That was a whole other bit because the movie itself has its own mystery. Like, there's no mystery about the killer because he was caught and then he's already dead. Like, they knew it. It's just that was going to be part of it because his house was down the street from my neighborhood.
It was you the whole time.
Right across, yes. Right across from the doctor I went to is
Where is it?
on Fulton Street. If you're like, like my covered bridge,
Yeah.
you keep going down 376 when it turns into Hooker Ave, and then off Hooker Ave is
Oh, going towards Poughkeepsie?
yeah,
yeah.
Fulton Street,
Okay,
and
okay.
coincidentally he killed hookers, so
Oh, true.
you gotta wonder.
Hooker, I barely know her.
So yeah, so his like what make like that's his like body count isn't he killed like 7 people or something. It's not outstanding, but the fact that he like
he wasn't that great at
yeah
doing it. Like.
he wasn't that good at it. But his mystery is that he stashed the bodies in his house, like in the attic.
Wasn't there another movie that was like that had that aspect, where that like this? I remember watching it too.
Well, here's the thing. Okay,
a
so
killer like stored it in like the vents of his house or
we
something.
we get to high school and everyone's like, "Oh, the Poughkeepsie tapes," and I forget what filmed or what distributor it was. It was a major like. They put a lot of money behind the viral ad campaign for the movie, and then it just disappeared. And that was weird. Like, it never came out in theaters.
Right.
And I looked it up. It briefly went on demand on, like, Stars for 2 weeks, like,
really?
4 years ago. And then it got taken off. And then on the Wikipedia page, it was like, oh, it's getting released on Blu-ray at, like, the end of 2018. Never happened.
What?
It's its own like weird kind of mystery.
Have you seen it?
No,
there's got to be somewhere to download it.
It's there like someone ripped it from Stars and
yeah.
Sure you can get it. But I wanted to see it in like theaters because that was like
that'd be cool.
Poughkeepsie only gets so many things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean the plot of the movie itself doesn't have anything to do with the actual.
No.
Poughkeepsie serial killer. He didn't videotape anything.
He was just like inspired by it or something?
He didn't torture anyone. No, just like in name. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But like people still remember that movie, so I like wanted to contact the director and be like, what the fuck happened to this movie? Like, it's been over 10 years. You still have people talking about it. Like just release like it's never been easier to release a movie.
The footage they used was like real and like unrealistic.
Nah.
That always reminds me of like local lore is like Onion Town. I feel always remember.
Yeah, dude, I was thinking.
I always think of Onion Town when I think of Poughkeepsie tapes.
Yeah, because I'm thinking about like episodes to do because like pretty much everything I wanted to do was centered around like. The Hudson Valley, I mean, Centralia is a little out there, but it's still Pennsylvania.
Yeah, tri-state.
And Onion Town definitely came up. I mean,
because we knew someone in college that went there and like their friend like got
yeah, but that's what everyone says.
Knifed in something like after they got rocks thrown at him. Yeah,
that's the lore.
Apparently they made like the front page of newspaper or something because it got like severely hurt.
That's still the lore. Like,
I don't have the proof, but
exactly. It's all hearsay.
True.
I mean, granted, there's evidence because Hudson Valley or Hudson River Psychiatric Center was emptied in the late 80s due to the policies of one Ronald Reagan. That was every institution was emptied.
Classic.
So that led to a lot of homeless people who were mentally ill and potentially a collection of people who resided and became called Onion Town.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility, but when...
I mean, they made it sound like it's like inbred, like, for hundreds of years, like, only, secluded.
What you would see on the movies, like... And I came into this because, like, I had heard of Onion Town, like, from my own...
There's got to be a mini doc of, like, some, like, B tier Vice channel, like, on YouTube about Onion Town. There's got to be.
Yeah. But I heard it, too, and I just... Because when I moved here, I was like 14, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even remember when I heard about it. I mean, I lived over closer to it than when I used to live at home. Because it's like past Dover or something, which is like 15 minutes from me. I don't remember specifically how I heard about it. It's just like something everyone knew.
Yeah, that's local folklore.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like, you know, everyone has a story and then the location's like general.
Yeah. One road in, one road out.
Yeah. Like people, I heard it all, dude.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to think about. Ugh. That's like, and like I said, I was gonna link that to like the state hospital, and you know the fact that I almost got arrested there when I was a lad.
True.
Very
Always
close.
wanted to go exploring there.
Well, you're shit out of luck because after 20 years or
taking it
whatever,
down, right?
they're finally
Yeah.
doing something with it. It's changed ownership like dozens of times.
Yeah.
Some people wanted to retrofit just the building itself and to make it housing or tear it down. I'm not sure
They got a cool video on YouTube.
what they're
when
doing.
I met up with Nick and friends, we were talking about it.
Well, what I'm doing before
They showed a video. Some guy had like a drone that was like,
Yeah.
it was like pretty sick. Yeah.
I'm gonna film it with my drone.
Yeah, you should.
Like a couple weeks from now before it changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't remember if they're tearing the building down or they're just repurposing the.
I feel like I remember them saying that they're gonna tear it down.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's two parts to that complex. Well, actually, three parts.
Well, they closed the one before the other, right?
The original hospital, which is it's a rare building. It's a Kirkbride building.
Was
He's
that
the
name?
architect. He did a bunch of state hospitals and other things across the country, so it was very valuable. That's the one that caught on fire,
Right.
because that was old. It's like 1910 or something when it first was built. And the big one is the Cheney building, which is in the 40s or 50s,
Yeah.
which you can see
The
from
one that
like
says
anywhere.
toast on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one we broke into.
Yeah.
And then there's the rehab center behind it, which was the cool thing that had like the swimming pool full of like black water. It's like straight out of like It Follows, and the bowling alley and stuff.
It was open for like it officially closed in like it was like 2014 or something dumb. Like I thought it was so long ago, but it wasn't. We like looked it up and it was like way more recent than I thought it was when like the last building closed. Like the other buildings closed before that, but like
I mean, there was a few buildings, yeah.
yeah. And I've always wanted to explore the women's college in Millbrook, which is pretty sick.
I mean, that was going to be torn down too.
Because that's like super
I mean,
unstable.
that's like really, because it's straight wood. Like,
yeah, it's all wood, yeah.
the hospital is brick. That's why I'm saying people wanted to repurpose it because the general structure is still sound. But yeah, that college was falling apart. I mean, that was
looks
when
pretty sick from the outside, though.
Yeah, that's when we took Christina up there.
Yeah,
It was
that's
like-
right, yeah.
It was like, had fencing around it, like it felt like it was going to be demoed.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's different ideas for podcast episodes
Yeah.
than the life of folk singer Jackson C. Frank.
I don't know who that is.
Probably, he was so good.
No.
Yep.
Never heard of him? Nope. Couldn't have been that good.
They used his song in like a recent
It's like
movie trailer.
It's like a Todd Rundgren related.
No, dude.
rant, like-
It has nothing to do with that. He was. I don't want to give it away.
Alright, then no. You think you're gonna make an episode about it someday?
Yeah, dude.
No, you're not.
He had such a
Not on this podcast.
He had such a tragic life, and it deserves to be told.
True.
It's my example of you can have everything and still fail.
Fair enough.
Because everyone's like, oh, like you're given all these gifts, and it's like, nope, you can still fail. Like no one, people don't tell you that when you're younger.
It's like when Brian's brother caught like the Barry Bonds home run ball
Yeah.
and got like hundreds of thousands of dollars and then started his own sneaker line and just went under instantly. He just blew all the money.
That's
Like
very,
imagine like
it's very easy to. Jackson C. Frank had so much talent, and he had success. I mean, like you said, he had his self-titled album, the lead song.
Is his music good? Like,
Yeah,
do you
it's
like
good.
it?
Yeah, it's good folk. I mean, it's just him and a guitar. Like that's
Right,
the whole thing. The Blues Run the Game was his big song. The album was produced by. I have to look it up.
Someone notable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he had it going for him,
Right, right.
and he died penniless and homeless. And the only reason, like he was literally homeless, and a fan of the music like found him and like took him in.
Really?
Yeah.
So if he
Yeah, it was produced by Paul Simon.
oh wow.
So that's like a big fucking thing. And yeah, Rolling Stone journalist called Frank one of the best forgotten songwriters of the 1960s.
So do you think the fact that he did end up homeless and like that do you think that made him more famous after the fact?
No, because people still don't know about him. Like I said, they use.
I mean, you do right now. We're talking about him. Like, would we even be happy?
Okay, so here's the genesis of how I found
Like,
out.
how many folk singers are out there that were just like normies that aren't remembered at all?
Genesis. Daft Punk used a song of his in their movie Electroma. That's the ending song.
Okay.
Is Jack, and I was like, this song's great, and I had to look it up, and I like couldn't even find it because the song was like 2 different names.
Huh.
And then I found it, and I was like, wow. And then I found his other stuff, and I was like, wow, this guy's good. And I read his bio, and I was like, ooh. He got the short end of the stick like every time, man.
Jeez.
But it's
Was he popular when he was releasing it? Like how long?
like I said, like the Blues Run
When-
the Game
when
was
was it?
a decent success. It was the 60s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, his debut album was 1965. Yeah, when he was so shy in recording sessions with Paul Simon, Art Garfunkel, etc. He put up screens because he said, "I can't play. You're looking at me."
That's good.
But his entire life.
I like music stories like that. Though, like
Yeah, and also it was a New York story. He grew up,
true.
He was born in Buffalo, and then he lived like upstate,
Cool.
up the river. I don't know, but yeah, it's his life is a fucking tragedy, dude.
That reminds me of like Daniel Johnston, and how he was like bipolar,
Yeah,
schizophrenic or something, and then he made like crazy music, and it's just like him with like a beat machine and like a keyboard, and then like Kurt Cobain like wore his T-shirt like on MTV, and everyone's like, "Who is this kid?" It was wild, like.
that's basically like a newer version of this.
Yeah.
He was severely depressed, and he got misdiagnosed with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
And he was like on like heavy like drugs to like schizophrenia, like to cure it or like abate it for like decades. It just like destroyed him
Jeez.
because like no one understood depression.
Yeah.
And he was institutionalized, then he was out, and then some kid shot him with a gun, took his eye out.
That's
So he
crazy.
had one eye.
Just a pirate.
And that's just one part of his story. That's not even like his most tragic.
There has to be a documentary on it.
There isn't.
There's no way.
There isn't. I already looked it up.
There's no way. There is one on Daniel Johnston, and it's really good.
This was gonna be a podcast episode.
You might as well do a whole documentary.
Well, I mean, I was gonna do a whole podcast, like a couple episodes.
You can do that on your side, our side sister channel, whatever you want to call it. We've repurposed this podcast to fit our current predicament.
I don't know. I'm about to
Projectile vomit everywhere.
Like I have like bits of it in my head that I've like rehearsed to like dramatic moments and like how to deliver them like in an audio like format. I just never did it.
True.
Oh, it would have been so good. But he still deserves to be known. Dude, we'll toss on one of his songs for later up.
We'll use it as an intro or something.
Yeah, dude.
So the intro songs I want to use like either intros of songs or pieces that would be a good intro for an episode that of like artists that like literally no one's like, because we obviously have to avoid copywriting stuff of like people that care about that. So
I mean, I don't even know if
I don't know the rules. So I would just rather nobody fucking knows Beyond the Ox or even who sings it. I mean, they could look it up or we could tell you right now that it's Swagus, but I mean, I already started making a playlist of like things that are just like crazy intros from like long lost albums that I've dug up on the internet that I think would be cool.
Dude. Oh.
Start making your list.
No, you can handle the songs. I just want the album. That's it.
Alright, fair enough. What do we got? What do we got for a timestamp here? It doesn't even say. Oh yeah, it does. Okay. We can talk a little more.
I'm even.
Could drink another beer.
Yeah, man. Jackson C. Frank. Go look it up.
That's his name. Okay. Now I'm curious as to what he sounds like now.
He has a very good voice.
Sounds like Dylan era, right?
I guess.
It was like same type of. He must have been like semi-popular then.
I mean, like I said, his debut album, the single, it got radio play, and then he just like, because it did, he stopped, which is like such a relatable thing.
That's so good. That's so good.
He was shy. I mean, I guess fuck it, I'll probably never make that episode. He was shy because of his appearance. Because, and I would set this up in the episode, when he was a boy, he went to school one day, and he sat next to his girlfriend at the time. I forget how old they were below teens. Just like at the start of any normal day, and then just picture the entire fucking floor of the classroom just going up. He saw like his classmates die.
What?
The boiler in the basement exploded, so his like 70% of his body was covered in burns.
Jesus.
And like I said, he like literally watched his girlfriend die. They're just like kids. This was upstate New York.
That's crazy.
So that was like him as a child, and then it just like set him off on this path of really like incredible music fueled by his depression and like agony of what he went through. And then even after that, like I said, like being misdiagnosed and like I said, being homeless. It's just what a story, man.
Right.
Ugh.
It definitely sounds like music worth listening to.
Yeah, it's good. And like, I don't even, did he have more than one album? There was like a compilation that was like released, but I'm pretty sure he only had like...
It was like some unreleased B-sides or something.
Yeah, it was like B-sides, and like the guy who eventually found him like when he was older and homeless once he got him healthy again, he recorded a few things where he just sounds like it's so sad because he's just like barely, you know what I mean? And then he just died.
That's crazy.
At like age like 50, like 8 or something.
Wow.
In the 90s. But like imagine you have like an album that's sending you off. You're working with Paul Simon, Art Garfunkel. I don't know. It's just like we put too much stock into being like, oh, everything will be fine as long as you do the right things. And
so then that's what pressures most people to do the right thing, which isn't necessarily the things they'd want to do.
I just, ugh, putting me in a melancholy mood.
Sure.
What other episodes did I
Oh,
have?
melancholy.
Dude, that album's almost, it's 9 years old.
Ew, what?
Yeah, dude.
Vanity. That's crazy.
Yep. Someone mentioned it wasn't even on like the Gorillaz subreddit. They're like, yo, the transition in Empire Ants, and I'm just like, yeah.
That's my favorite
It's
Gorillaz
such a
song
good
by a
song.
long shot. I always crank it when I'm in the car.
Oh, it's so
And
good.
then Little Dragon just fucking kills it. It's such a
Someone
good song.
replied to that comment. They're just like, I don't like Little Dragon. It just got downloaded to a
Idiot.
wrong.
Objectively wrong.
Good song.
So good. That always reminds me of I feel like that era was Crystal Castle's era.
It was around there.
Yeah.
Plastic
And when-
Beaches.
And when you introduced them to me when I was ripped in the back of your car and we went to get Taco Bell, you put on. I always forget the name of the song, even though it's my favorite one. Name some Crystal Castle songs. Fuck, what is it?
Black Panther, Air War,
No,
Crime Wave, Celestica,
no, getting closer, but that's not it.
Baptism,
No,
Doe Deer,
no, the other one.
fucking,
2 words. It's on the tip of my tongue.
do you want me to look, or like,
No, keep guessing. It's one of the first 2 albums. I'm pretty sure it's the first album. Yeah. Same album was like 1993.
yeah, that's the first.
Yeah. It's the best one. The best song on that album. What's it called? I don't even know like what they're saying, so I can't even say like the lyrics.
Are you talking about Crime Wave?
No.
What are there? We've named like 8 songs off the album.
It's it's the other one. It's like the one you haven't said. All right, look it up. Fuck.
Just peeing my
I
pants.
can't believe I can't think of it. It's literally my favorite Crystal Castle song. Because it's the first one you showed me when I was ripped in the back of your Honda Fit. And I was just like, this is the greatest music I've ever.
Where's Crystal Cat? Oh, here.
I'm gonna remember like right before you find it. Oh my god, this is.
Oh yeah. How did we not say this one? I said the 2 like before and after.
It's hurting me. It's on the tip of my tongue so bad. I know it's 2 words.
Yeah.
Well, now you're gonna make me think of it.
No, not you.
It's
We're gonna give you the first letter of it. I think. Literally the first letter.
Yeah. What is it?
C.
No, it doesn't help.
No?
Of Dating.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Dude.
That doesn't help. Yeah, so you played Courtship Dating, blasted it,
Yeah.
and I was just so ripped, and I was just like, this is it. This is music. And then we went and saw them at Terminal 5, and it was great.
That was an era.
When we went to Taco Bell, fucking Banana Peel Matt called that dude a spick, and then the guy came out at us and chased us out of the parking lot.
Quite literally.
And I was freaking out
So
because I was ripped.
everyone was zooted except me.
All I wanted was Taco Bell.
Same. And we got none.
We pull up and Matt's like, oh, "Can I get a Whopper?" And he's like, "We don't
Yeah.
serve that here. You can leave or something."
And then he made a racist joke.
Like, fucking spick.
And then
I was like, Matt, are you
they
kidding me?"
literally came bursting out of the back door of the Taco Bell. And
You
so
just floored it.
I peeled out backwards and then floored it.
I was just like,
"Ah!" And I was like, I can never go back there. I was like, you fucking asshole.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah, dude.
Didn't we like got McDonald's afterwards, and it was just like the most unsatisfying meal I've ever eaten.
Probably.
Like, it was, even though I was high, I was just like, this is terrible.
Yeah, dude.
Ugh.
That's what racism does.
True.
Ruins everything.
But it did not ruin Crystal Castles.
No. What ruined Crystal Castles was
Their third album.
dude, the third album's pretty good. Like
It was definitely their weakest album, I think.
I feel like because it dropped like slightly after
It
I
wasn't
graduated.
like
College music
there was just something about it that was just like too.
Maybe because he was fucking raping her and it was bad.
Was that a real thing?
That's why they broke up.
I didn't know that.
He abused her.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's like
Poor Alice.
her album's all about her experience with that.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Because she had like a shaky past, and that's what people do. They take advantage of
Right.
that.
Damn.
Yeah. Yep.
So is he just like banned from music? Like
No, he just found another girl to sing for Crystal Castles. I got her album, I didn't get their new one.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, fuck that.
I didn't even know they had another album.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
everyone doesn't like him.
he's a fucking rapist.
That's crazy. Makes sense. Is she just going by Alice Glass?
Yeah.
Okay. The true plot of Glass.
Girls that are scary or attractive, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I want them to bite my head off. If
You listeners ever see
praying mantis girl?
Yeah, you listeners ever see a girl like, I wish she'd fucking kill me. You know what I mean? Like
That's the Aubrey
attractive they are.
Plaza syndrome.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Like, you could murder me and I'd be happy with it.
I'd love it for you, dude.
It's like prostitution, but like murder.
I'll pay you to kill me.
Yeah, dude. That should be legal. Fuck it.
It should be legal.
I mean, people just do what they want to do, you know?
I agree prostitution should be legal. I agree. Assisted suicide should be legal. But
Just combine the two.
yeah, it's just a funny statement.
It is what it is. But that wasn't... Like... I miss the college era of music.
I feel like you miss it because college was also good, and now post college is like not as good.
Yeah,
So it makes the music of that era better.
I guess, but now it's just like,
I mean, I'll try not to go a podcast without mentioning King Giz, and they're putting out albums left and right.
Everyone just turned it off. Everyone turned it off.
No, I mean, you said for yourself that the new Vampire Weekend album was pretty good, so I haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to it yet.
Like I said, it's like the band grows with me. It's through their debut album was freshman year of college.
Yeah.
The second one was halfway through. Third one was right at the end. And now this one, there was a little gap, but it was also because things don't go on such a scale of like every 2 to 4 years.
Right.
And it feels like this was a turning point in my own life, and now we get the new album, and I was just like, ooh. And it's so much more mature.
All the songs are like relevant to it and stuff.
Well,
like to you, I mean.
Relevant to people who have relationships and things I don't. But I should have. It's very mature in that sense. There's like talk about marriage and different things because he's married now.
True.
To Rashida Jones, which is crazy.
What a god.
Yeah, dude. Just lock it down.
Ezra is, or?
Yeah.
Not Rostam.
It's pretty good. Like I said, it's got what's her face on a lot of the songs and kind of not a country twang, but like you have some slide guitar in there.
Nice.
Like added on. I don't know. It's just like 18 songs.
It's a strong amount of songs.
It's good.
I'm on the brink of such like a music download, just because I've been like putting everything onto my iPod.
Yeah, dude.
Like literally everyone released an album in the past 2 months that I listened to. Just kind of nut.
Oh. Bust on
Just bust a move.
Well, I guess that's it.
And that's how we end it. So it's like kind of professional, right?
Well, that's how it sounds, but
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go.
Hated this episode.
I'm so glad you didn't like it.
Much better the first time.
You were mad that I did it unknowingly, and it was better. It was better. I agree.
But now you can't fool me again.
Yeah, but I mean, they'll get better. They'll get better.
We need a few topics.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
Topics.
it's best to start.
Because I didn't see Endgames.
It ruined it. It's best to start terrible, so it can only get better from here. So yeah, that's it.